think sometimes we take labels too seriously. This is why when we diagnose somebody with antisocial personality disorder or schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, these things that have these real big triggers and stigma against it, this is part of the problem because the dad almost kind of bought into this a little bit, like,
He did.
she has this and I gotta
He was
warn
told
everybody against my daughter.
What is the one thing we know about human nature? Unpredictable. You cannot put us in a box. So it's not as though, Drew, you're this guy, I'm this guy, Judy, you're this person. We all sway from, sometimes we're more empathetic than others. Some people are certainly more sensitive than others. But I think it is very dangerous to, especially as a parent, to label your daughter as this unmalleable sociopath.
My goodness.
If, based upon reading about her, she sounds like a pretty good person who has this unfortunate personality disorder. Because as a kid, she did apparently hurt her sister.
Maybe he doesn't totally understand that label. So how about a hybrid? How about they all get together with a therapist and sit down and have this discussion?
But then he's told him. So but in order to even have that sit down, you have to tell him.
Yeah.
Unless everyone's hanging out at dinner and the father just tells, you know.
But maybe the sit down should be with the daughter, like the two of them should then go to the therapist first and say, I have this concern, how come my daughter's not telling? But I mean, even the fact that he calls her a sociopath is a problem. Again, sociopath is not a diagnosis, and we associate really, really negative things with sociopaths.
I think, you know, the more I've thought about this though, I actually agree with our audience.
You do?
It depends on how you say it. He doesn't have to say my daughter's a sociopath, but he could over dinner say, they could go to dinner and say, hey, has my daughter ever explained to you that she had some therapy as a youngster for some aggressive tendencies? And what's great is she's worked on it. Has she ever broached that subject with you? And if the boyfriend says no, can you just give me a little more info? Maybe he doesn't have to call her a sociopath.
Yeah.
Maybe the father could just acknowledge that she's been treated and she's doing great with treatment, but this is just something to be aware of so that if you ever do get married and have kids, you're aware of it. Because what if they have kids? And what if she shows no empathy towards the kids? And again, this all came out after she exhibited odd, disturbing behavior at a young age and a serious incident of abuse towards her younger sister.
Okay.
Now, if the boyfriend does marry her and they have kids, he needs to look out for that.
Okay.
If you're a sociopath and you're a parent, I think that you need to be careful.
But she is an adult.
Now, and she was a kid then.
She can speak for herself.
Yes.
And she can have this conversation with this man who is choosing to have a relationship with her. So if he's not seeing this lack of empathy, this terrible whatever traits that the dad is sort of saying, this was an issue for her.
But she's not having that conversation. So
but
I think
maybe she's not even exhibiting most of the symptoms now. That's what it
right,
looks
because
like.
that's what's so great about having that personality disorder. You can fool people. They think you're
Wow.
amazing. You're good at it because you have no sympathy or empathy, so it's easy. You're charming and you just don't care.
But do we not believe people can change?
Yes, we do.
We believe people can change. And I think that she could change. She didn't go to prison yet. She hasn't broken the law. I mean, that's where I think you start to see the real danger signs. She hasn't done any of that.
I think deep down, Judy, not Dr. Ho, empathizes with our audience, who believes that the father should tell the boyfriend.
I'm with the 19% of you who said that you'll leave it up to her.
I applaud you for sticking to your guns.
I'm sticking to my guns.
I think this highlights something really important for takeaway as you're watching, and it's that personalities are so unique. We're all individuals. No two people are alike, and I think transparency and openness and honesty is always the best, but categorizing, saying, you know, you're a sociopath, you're a bad person, maybe we avoid that.
Well, and I think we have to be very careful labeling people. We have to be very careful using medical diagnoses, medical terms that people don't understand.
People are diagnosing themselves with antisocial personality disorder.
I just want to tell you she's psychotic or neurotic or overly anxious. I mean, you have to be careful labeling people like that.
I agree. If you're going to have a conversation, then talk about the subtleties like Dr. Travis is suggesting. Don't use the label. Just say, does she seem like she's empathetic? Does she give you what you need?
Exactly.
That's fine. I think that's a fine conversation.
Excited to have you in the family.
I like it.